The phone rang at 2:17 a.m. Mary Kim had learned to expect the worst after 29 years of false hopes. "Mrs. Kim, this is Detective Sawyer with Cleburne County Cold Case Unit. 3 decades of waiting, wondering what happened to her daughter Elizabeth. We got him." 200 miles away, police vehicles lined a quiet suburban street outside Montgomery. Inside one brick ranch house, a 61-year-old man was being placed in handcuffs. He'd spent 29 years believing he'd gotten away with it. Elizabeth Kim wasn't just another statistic. Born in 1967, the 23-year-old had big dreams beyond small-town Cleburne County, Alabama. Working full-time at the local bank while taking night classes, she was saving every penny for Auburn University. She wanted to be the first in her family to earn a college degree. Her daily routine was predictable: early morning jogs, work at First Alabama Bank, evening study sessions. Friends described her as driven and meticulous, with her whole life mapped out in a small notebook. The weekend before she vanished, Elizabeth had driven to Atlanta for a concert. The photograph from that trip, beaming in a denim jacket, city lights behind her, would be the last ever taken of her. May 8, 1990 began ordinarily. Elizabeth completed her morning jog, worked her shift at the bank, and arrived home around 4:45 p.m. Her parents were both away, mother working an evening hospital shift, father on a business trip. At 7:13 p.m., her friend Lisa Winters called, inviting Elizabeth over to study for an upcoming exam. Elizabeth left a message at her mother's workplace. "Tell Mom I'm heading to Lisa's to study, should be home by 10. She left at approximately 7:30 p.m., wearing jeans, a navy Auburn University sweatshirt, and white sneakers. She carried a backpack with her textbooks. The 6-block walk should have taken 12 minutes, a route she'd walked hundreds of times. An elderly neighbor, Mrs. Simmons, saw someone matching Elizabeth's description entering the neighborhood park around 7:40 p.m. "She waved at me while I was watering my garden. I've known that Kim girl since she was knee-high." It was the last confirmed sighting. When Elizabeth hadn't arrived by 8:15 p.m., Lisa grew worried. By 10:30 p.m., Mary Kim returned home to find the house empty. The frantic call to Lisa revealed Elizabeth never showed up. By midnight, police were retracing her route through the park. 2 days later, Elizabeth's backpack was found partially hidden beneath a bush, halfway between her home and Lisa's house. The textbooks were untouched. No signs of struggle, no blood. Just the abandoned backpack as silent testimony that something had gone terribly wrong. Sheriff Walter Daniels took personal command. A team of detectives, state police, and FBI agents established a command center. The community organized massive searches, combing every inch of woodland within 10 miles. Investigators focused on men with criminal histories and people in Elizabeth's life. 7 registered sex offenders were interviewed. Ex-boyfriends received scrutiny. Hundreds of tips poured in, generating over 400 leads, 212 formal interviews, and 17 search warrants. Physical evidence was scarce: the backpack, a partial footprint, cigarette butts, and a single hair. In 1990, technology couldn't extract much from these items. As months became years, the FBI scaled back involvement. Detective Roy Simmons kept Elizabeth's photograph on his desk, working the case whenever possible. "Somebody in this county knows something," he told reporters. "We just haven't found them yet." For the Kim family, time moved differently. Elizabeth's bedroom remained untouched, textbooks still on her desk. Robert Kim became a private investigator, dedicating himself entirely to finding his daughter. The strain destroyed the marriage, though the couple never divorced. Each May 8th, the family organized a community walk following Elizabeth's route. What began with hundreds of participants dwindled to dozens, but they never missed a year. Robert Kim died in 2012 after 22 years of searching, suffering a heart attack outside the sheriff's department while following yet another tip. Mary carried on alone, maintaining a website and embracing social media. "Someone knows something" became her mantra. In January 2019, Sheriff Marcus Wade established Alabama's first rural county cold case unit. Detective Eliza Sawyer, a 15-year veteran, led the two-person team. They immediately prioritized Elizabeth's case. The original investigators did exceptional work preserving evidence, Sawyer explained. Our advantage isn't that we're better, it's that we have better technology. That technology included revolutionary advances in DNA analysis. The single hair found on Elizabeth's backpack had yielded no results in 1990. In 2021, the FBI offered access to a new technique, extracting nuclear DNA from rootless hair shafts. Elizabeth's case was accepted into the program. In June 2021, the lab delivered news. They had a full DNA profile suitable for database upload and familial matching. There was no direct match in CODIS, but genetic genealogy offered hope. By comparing the DNA against commercial ancestry databases, genealogist Carolyn Fitzpatrick constructed family trees working backward to identify connections. By August 2021, they'd narrowed the field to a specific family line in eastern Alabama. Through voluntary DNA submissions from distant relatives, they closed in on one name: Edward Allen Clean, 61, living outside Montgomery. The name appeared nowhere in the original investigation files. He'd never been interviewed, never considered a suspect. Investigation revealed Clean had worked as a delivery driver in 1990, with routes including Cleburne County stores. He had no criminal record. He'd moved from the area in late 1990, just months after Elizabeth's disappearance. On paper, he looked completely unremarkable, Detective Martinez said. That's often the case with predators who evade capture. They obtained a discarded soda can from a gas station. The DNA matched the hair on Elizabeth's backpack. Match probability, 1 in 7.2 trillion. After 29 years, they had their suspect. At 5:15 a.m. on September 23, 2021, police knocked on Clean's door. He opened it, looking confused but not panicked, until Detective Sawyer announced, "Edward Allen Clean, you're under arrest for the kidnapping and murder of Elizabeth Marie Kim." He never once asked who Elizabeth Kim was, Martinez observed. Never claimed not to know the name. Inside Clean's garage, investigators found a locked cabinet containing newspapers from May and June 1990, all featuring stories about Elizabeth's disappearance. The trial lasted 3 weeks. On May 26, 2022, the jury deliberated just 4 hours before returning a guilty verdict on all counts. Clean was sentenced to life in prison without parole. As he was led from the courtroom, Mary Kim stood. "I forgive you, not for your sake, but for mine. I've carried this burden long enough." Elizabeth's case transformed Alabama's approach to cold cases, inspiring similar units in 5 other counties. The Kim family established a foundation supporting cold case investigations and families of missing persons. Mary Kim, now in her late 70s, supports other families waiting for answers. "I tell them their loved one matters, that the truth is worth pursuing, no matter how long it takes." Time may be the greatest ally of those who commit terrible acts, but as Elizabeth's case proves, it can also be their ultimate undoing. No secret stays buried forever, and no one is beyond the reach of justice, even if it takes 29 years to arrive.